Welcome to the Living Artist Podcast. I'm your host, Preston M. Smith. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Living Artist Podcast. I'm Preston M. Smith, at PMS Artwork everywhere on internet land and socials. I want to thank you for landing on this podcast. Whether you're a professional artist, just getting started in the art world, a collector of art, or just consider yourself a creative person, this podcast has something for you. I like to think of it as a fun way to rant and talk to other creative people about living the life of an artist, surviving and getting ahead in the art world, and enjoying your life. But most importantly, not waiting until you're dead to make it happen. All right, let's get started.
All right, another day. Let's see if I can go on YouTube and scroll through here, find some motivation for the day. Let's see.
Hey fam, thanks for coming back. Are you tired of not getting any likes on your Instagram posts? Well, do this one simple trick that I'm going to show you right now and gain 1 million followers overnight.
Nope. Next.
Oh my god, everybody, are you tired of doing all these new fad diets? Well, I'm going to show you how to eat whatever you want any time of day and lose 5 pounds every minute.
Oh boy. Next.
Welcome back, everybody. It's your friend, Tony Robbins, and I'm here to tell you about my new seminar for 3 days for only $1,500 a day. I'll show you the way to get the real improvements you want in your life. Okay?
Oh man. Tony, I love you. But that's like $5,000 for 3 days. Who can afford that? Fuck it. I guess I'll do it myself.
Welcome back, everybody, to the podcast. Hopefully you got the message there. I'm sure we all are used to this. This is that phenomenon that we're getting used to so much on social media and YouTube and beyond. Something used to be kind of an infomercial thing. You wouldn't see it that much, but it feels like it's even worse than that now. It's like infomercials on steroids. All these quick fix people just do this one thing for 2 seconds every week and your life will just fall into place. And that's great. And you can understand why it's effective marketing. It's an effective approach because who doesn't want to change their life with minimal effort? And I'm not saying you can't change your life with minimal effort. I'm a huge biohacker. I love finding ways to optimize and to biohack, my biology and, get better and better with my routine and get better and better with my day and get better and better with my art practice. But what I'm here to say and to underscore is something that we've been talking about recently about like quick fixes and instant gratification. And I'm not here to be like, oh man, everything's fucking hard and you just gotta like put your nose to the grindstone, man, and just crank it out. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that we have to get used to and we have to start appreciating all the invisible work that we can't see, all the invisible progress that we can't see. That's one of those things I think is a killer, especially nowadays in the world of instant gratification and like people just want to push a button and have everything be there. Everybody wants that. And if it were that easy, everybody would be famous. Everybody would be super wealthy. We'd all be billionaires. We'd all be living our best life. But, that's fine. You can still do that. I'm here to say you can achieve all of that if you just get used to
This one principle right here, and I'm going to tell you the secret.
No, it's not really one secret. It's just something that I've come to realize in my own life. And it's something that can be very powerful, I think, in your life as well. And I'm going to use some examples. It's like if you're investing in the stock market, let's say you're investing in an index fund or a mutual fund, and you put, a sizable amount of money in there, and then you just watch the market like a hawk every day, you are going to be terrified. You're going to see your money go up and down and crash and, all the whims of the market and what's going on in the world and wars and famine and blah, 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 all this stuff, AI technology. You're going to see your money go up and down and crash and then rise and crash. And you're going to sell. You're going to panic sell. You're going to be like, screw this. I don't need this kind of stress. But if you were just to leave it there for 10 years and not look at it, chances are your money will probably have doubled in that time. And that's huge. That's compounding interest. And that's something that, is kind of invisible to the naked eye or invisible to the watchful eye. It's the same thing with a real change in your diet or your eating habits. If you watch the pounds every single morning, you're probably not going to see much and you're probably going to get frustrated and you quit. But if you start doing this thing diligently and you're doing the right stuff, you're following the right habits, you're following the right routine, and if you check in once a week or even once a month, you're probably going to see some results and you're going to be like, oh, wow, looking back, this is amazing. And I think that's something that we all need to get used to more in our art careers. Because when I look back over, 20 years of doing this professionally out of school, it's one of those things where, yeah, there was a lot of just kind of like pounding the pavement. There was a lot of submitting to galleries. There was a lot of, doing shows and hauling my work all over town and sending my work places and blah, 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 doing all this, all the little minutia and, all the marketing, getting on art marketplaces and just every day uploading. And the thing is if I hadn't got the results that I wanted in the first month or the first 2 months or the first 3 months, I would quit for sure. I would be like, well, this isn't working. Obviously, I'm not going to waste any more time. But if you have a goal and if you have the dream to become a successful artist, whatever success means to you, then you need to have a varied approach, right? I'm not saying put all your eggs in one basket, do exactly what I am doing, because what I'm doing might not work for you. You can take little tips and tricks from what I'm doing and apply them to your life, and you can try this strategy, but also I would say that you should probably buffer it with your own strategies too. Do a lot of things. Have things on the back burner. Throw a bunch of spaghetti at the wall, see if it sticks. But also don't expect just instant gratification. I think it is one of those things, if we can switch our mindset into feeling like we're making progress every day, because that's the real thing. If you're doing something every day and you're making progress every day, even if you're not seeing the tangible results right then in that moment, that's something you can feel proud of. Man, I ticked off these boxes today. I submitted to 3 galleries that I've been wanting to get into today. I submitted a grant proposal. I submitted my application for this online art marketplace today. You know what? I made plans to do this pop-up art fair or whatever. These are all little things that are going to eventually stack up and become major wins for you looking back. And you can't really see how they stack up. And sometimes you'll reach out to a gallery and nothing will happen. You're like, well, that was a waste of time. But you know what? You never know what's going to happen 2 years down the road. You never know if some artist is going to leave their roster and they're going to be like, what about that person that submitted to us that we put in our maybe file? Let's give them a shot. Let's give them their own day in court here. That happens all the time. And, you're laying groundwork. I mean, like 95% of it is laying the groundwork and just being patient and doing the work, doing the invisible work and trusting that invisible work is stacking up. And, to use a financial analogy again, it's like exponential. If you look at the graph, it's very, very slow and almost flat at the beginning. And then it starts to, you start to get a couple little wins here. And then all of a sudden, boom, 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 it starts going up. And then all of a sudden it shoots up like a rocket. It's a exponential growth. And that may not happen the same for each person. It can be more of like an up and down, but you will see gains. And you will see that most of that stuff happened below the surface. And to use somebody like Warren Buffett, if you read about Warren Buffett, who's one of the richest people in the world right now, it's one of those things where, he's been rich for a long time, but 95% of his wealth or something has come in like the last 1 or 2 years. That's because of this compounding interest, and that's because of this exponential growth. And it's because he was patient and he did the right things and he allowed things to keep stacking up. And pretty soon, over time, he just wore everybody else out and had an amazing portfolio. And that's what we're trying to do. Is, in a way, you are trying to wear other people out because it's a competitive market and there's a lot of artists out there who are trying to do the same thing. And if you trust the process, if you trust that what you're doing is good and the work that you're doing is good and the groundwork you're laying and the pounding the pavement and the marketing and all that stuff you're doing is good, and over time it's going to end up building up and the connections you're making are going to lead somewhere eventually. And that's what I've noticed in my own career. It's like things come a bit easier now. I still do all the work, but certain things now come to me that I used to have to reach out for. And that's because I laid the groundwork, and over 20 years, it's starting to show results, and I'm starting to see that curve go up exponentially. And that's what, I want for all of you. And if you can do that, if you can trust the invisible work, and if you can keep motivated and keep doing the day-to-day stuff that might seem like minutia, if you can trust that that's going somewhere and you can enjoy that as progress and even enjoy the failures that come from that, the quote unquote failures that come from that, which I see as progress also, if you can trust that and enjoy that, then you're really going to get there and you are going to wear out other people. It kind of weeds out people who either aren't as serious as you are about it or just don't have the chops. They don't have the stamina to keep doing what they're doing. This doesn't have to be like, go, 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 achieve, achieve, achieve. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you can just do your work, have your own structure, have your own routine that works for you. You don't have to be a type A personality, push, push, push. You just have to find a routine that works for you. Do the work consistently. Feel good about the work that you're doing. Put positive energy into the work that you're doing every day. And then trust that this invisible work, you're laying these bricks, these invisible bricks that are stacking up. And pretty soon you're going to be seeing these wins. And when you see the wins, see that as progress and see that and take it and be grateful for that and know that more are coming as long as you just keep doing it. So hopefully this is something that has been inspiring for you because, a lot of times I think we do get dissatisfied or disillusioned by seeing all these people professing these fast, push button approaches to stuff and like, oh, if you do this, you're going to completely, achieve and conquer the world within 5 days or something. That's just not really sustainable and it's not really realistic. And I'm all about like the law of attraction and I'm all about attracting good things to you. But a lot of time too, the law of attraction is doing the work behind the scenes too, like doing the emotional, vibrational work and trusting that that's going to lead somewhere, even if it doesn't happen right away. It is in, as they say, the vortex. You're putting it out there, you're building off of that, and it is coming to you, and you just have to keep believing that. So it's very similar to that as well. It is very positive, and all it takes is a little bit of a mindset shift to trust that process and to know that it's going to amount to something really good in your life and in your art career. So again, hopefully this is something that's given you inspiration and not taken the wind out of your sails because it really is inspirational. And I think it's one of those things when you look back over 5, 10 years or whatever, like me, 20 years, and you see all that groundwork that was frustrating at the beginning and now it's paying off. You're like, oh man, I'm so happy and I feel so fulfilled that I did this the right way or I did this in my way or I trusted the process. So hopefully you will also see that and hopefully you're starting to see it now. In the meantime, feel free to reach out to me on social media as you always do, as you always can, and hope everybody's doing well, having a creative week, having a good week, and being good to everybody out there and being good to yourselves. So we will see you next time on the next episode. Bye-bye.
Yeah, welcome back, fam, and I'm going to show you the true way to make success happen. And it might take 5 years, it might take 10 years, it might take 20 years, but you're going to lay the invisible groundwork, and you're going to make it happen, and you're going to be grateful for it along the process.
Screw this. I'm gonna go with my way. Don't listen to this clown. Okay. Someone got a meeting or something. What the hell? Wait a minute. I've got words for me. Oh, fuck it.
This has been the Living Artist Podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I just want you to know that I appreciate you being here and I'm grateful to be in your ears. Your art and creative life on this planet is meaningful, so thank you for sharing it with me. If you like this podcast, whatever platform you're listening to it on, please subscribe and share it with your friends. You can also leave me a positive review to show your support. This helps me to reach more people with the algorithmic magic and keep the show going strong. If you want to see more of what I do and check out the art that I create, you can visit my website at www.pmsartwork.com or follow me on social media everywhere at PMS Artwork. That's it for now. See you back here next time.